He's Mike Florio from ProFootballTalk.com and the latest on Aaron Hernandez. Where do we stand with this right now? He was told to get away from the Patriots training facility, and an arrest warrant out for him this morning, Mike?
Yeah, WBZ in Boston reports an arrest warrant for obstruction of justice. Not a surprise because there were reports yesterday, multiple reports, that police believe Hernandez destroyed his cell phone, tried to destroy the surveillance system at his house, had his house scrubbed down on Monday, the same day that the body of Odin Lloyd was found roughly a mile away. So at a minimum, it looks like he's going to be charged with obstruction of justice. The question is, how does it go from here? Is it Hernandez who gets charged with murder? Is it someone else? I think they're hoping to charge multiple people and try to squeeze the truth out of someone.
The commissioner has suspended players before the due process. That we had that with Pac-Man Jones, Ben Roethlisberger. What do you think happens here from the league's point of view with Aaron Hernandez?
Well, the personal conduct policy changed dramatically in 2007, and Roger Goodell has enforced it very aggressively. Ray Lewis ultimately was fined $250,000 when he pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice in a murder case in 2000 by Paul Tagliabue. I think that if Hernandez ends up being convicted of or pleading guilty to obstruction of justice, he's going to face a significant penalty, at a minimum a multi-game suspension. And then keep this in mind: the NFL has its own internal police force, NFL security. They'll come to their own conclusions. They're not bound by proof beyond a reasonable doubt, and if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. They can come to a conclusion. They can reach a belief as to what happened, and if they think Aaron Hernandez was more responsible than what the legal system decides, Goodell can do whatever he wants, and the appeal goes right back to his desk.
You think he starts this season in the lineup?
That's the toughest question right now, Dan, for the Patriots and for the league. When Ray Lewis went through his situation, it was all in the offseason, and it was done and concluded by the time the Ravens went back to training camp. For the Patriots now, you're just weeks away from training camp. How do you finesse this, that you respect the guy's right to be employed, but you also minimize the potential distractions and the appearances of having someone who's been, by the end of July, charged with obstruction of justice or even worse? And I remember in 2007, the moment Mike Vick was indicted for dogfighting, that was it. He was done, gone, out the door, never to return to Atlanta. And you just have to wonder how the Patriots and the league are going to find a way out of this forest, because it's all happening just weeks before they show up and get ready for the season.
If you were representing him, I know you don't know the details here, but what would you tell him?
Well, I'd tell him to get a time machine and go back to Monday and deal with everything differently. I mean, the problem is the die has been cast on some of this stuff. The effort to destroy evidence, if that's true, that doesn't look good, and that makes it hard to get out of trouble. But at this point, unless Aaron Hernandez pulled the trigger, I would want to know the full story. I'd want to know the truth. And if he didn't pull the trigger, then my advice would be do a deal and tell the truth and tell the story and take the punishment that goes along with the stuff you've already done. Now, if he did pull the trigger, then that's a completely different discussion altogether.
Good to visit with you, Mike. Have a great weekend.
All right, see you, Dan.
That's Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com. When you destroy your phone, surveillance equipment, tape, cleaning up your house, cleaning service brought in, covering your tracks there, or somebody else's tracks. Is there obstruction of justice? Are you harboring the criminal? There's so many different elements to this. It's above my pay grade, but having Mike Florio, who's a lawyer, to look at this. And here's a guy who he got a $12 million signing bonus. When you thought of all the teams at a position where you're solid for the next 5 years, you thought the Patriots with their tight ends. Now Gronk with another surgery, that's 5. And Aaron Hernandez maybe facing prison time?